Hi, I'm Rob Word. This is a special edition of A Word on Entertainment because it's from an interview I did years ago with one of the giants of the movie industry, Jackie Coogan. Yep, the Jackie Coogan who was the kid who became Uncle Fester. I used to host TV movies much like Ben Mankiewicz and Bob Osborne did, hosting movies, introducing them, programming the films, and I was lucky enough quite often to have celebrity guests, and one of them was Jackie Coogan. It's an old 4x3 framing, and the video quality could be better. In fact, I could be better, and I hope I am now, but here's that old one from back in the early 70s with Jackie Coogan joining me in Tampa Bay on WTOG.
Welcome to the Great Late Movie, where we've tonight got something that you've all been asking for, a film starring that great comic team of Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. It's their last American film made at 20th Century Fox. They made several for 20th Century Fox, most of them not so good, but tonight is considered by some people to be about the best of the 20th Century Fox ones that they did make. It's the Bullfighters, and Laurel and Hardy really are more popular today than ever before. I've got a bunch of magazines called Pratfall that's still published by just aficionados of Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, and here to talk with us tonight about Stan and Ollie is none other than a comic great himself, Mr. Jackie Coogan.
Hi, Rob.
I'm glad you could join us again tonight.
Thank you very much. I didn't know Stan too well, but I played golf with the Babe. He's quite a guy. He of course, you know, but I guess most of the folks don't know that actors want to be dancers and dancers want to be singers, and well, all he wanted to do was sing. He thought that was he was a lot like another great comic, Charlie Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And
both worked at Hal Roach too.
That's right, and there'd be a group at the bar at Lakeside, and as soon as a tenor walked in, there was an immediate quartet going. You know, he was a very jovial man, and Stan wasn't. Stan was a very reticent, withdrawn,
intense, involved with film.
Always thinking of film and bits and pieces of things to do and bits of business that would help, you know, in some future comedy routine. But Babe was a liver. He liked to swing a lot.
Well, they're pretty aged in tonight's film. It is done in 1945, their last American film. Of course, they had gotten together back in the early days, silent days, and made just tons of films together. Most of them, luckily, still available today. I know most of you...
Way back in the old days, you know, Chaplin worked with Babe in one picture.
I didn't realize that. What
yeah,
was that?
Before they were formed, before the team was formed. And they didn't get along together, which I could easily understand, you know?
Right.
Because Stan Laurel had the patience of Job, and he was an easy fella to get with. But when you talk business, you know, don't wander. And Babe wasn't like that at all. He was all over the place.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, I don't know whether he sings or not in tonight's film, The Bullfighters, but let's start it right now. And Jackie Coogan and I will be back a little bit later on showing a clip from one of his famous films, one of the ADDAMS Family series that Channel 44 runs Monday through Friday at 5:30. And we'll be showing a clip of Jackie as Uncle Fester in that film. Thanks for joining us right now, and we'll get into Stan and Ollie right now with The Bullfighters and be back just a little bit later on.
It's fun made to order south of the border with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Those zany El Dupos of slap-happy comedy and fun as the Bullfighters. They're defective detectives in the land of hot tamales and hot tomatoes, on the trail of a very desirable blonde. You're in for the year's hilarious fun fest with cops, cut-ups, cuties, and bulls down Mehi-O-O way.
Laurel and Hardy are more popular today, it seems, than ever before. Earlier in the program, we showed some issues of fanzine devoted to Stan and Ollie called Pratfall. Here is the L&H News, an obscure and extremely rare publication that was done and predated the Pratfall issues by John Mr. L&H Valerino, who's now a sports editor on the News Chief. And I save things like this, these rare collector's items, and it's nice to have them. And there's all sorts of things that are published about people. One is a book, The Story of Our Gang, which was done in 1929 when Our Gang was just making the transition to sound films. You see a lot of the big people. Here's Fat Joe Cobb, 11 years old and as jolly as he is fat, says the line. And with us, if we could open up on Dallas just a little bit, we'll see sitting behind the Our Gang book is none other than Jackie Coogan, who had a series of books all about him, too.
Yeah, we used to print up editions of for children's use with clips from the film and adapt them for kids to read. In those days, it was kind of hard to get kids, to read. We've gone back to that cycle again,
Right.
But because they find these high school kids that can't even read. But we used to make a printing of around 250, 300,000 on each picture we
Those
did.
are really rare to find today, too.
I have about 7 of them, that's all, and I put out calls to everybody in the world to try and get them. But I don't know, these things do get lost.
Well, something that hopefully we have that hasn't gotten lost is a clip from your series, The Addams Family, that starred John Astin. I graduated from Stetson University, and Ted Lurch Cassidy
yeah.
also graduated from there. He had a great part in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He got kicked in that movie.
I fell right out of my chair when that happened. That was one of the funniest bits I've ever seen.
It really was.
Oh, he's a great guy, great guy. We worked together very well.
Well, let's watch a clip from The Addams Family right now with Jackie Coogan as Uncle Fester, John Astin, and also Carolyn Jones.
Hey, see the story? It says there's a cat burglar in our neighborhood.
Really? Let's see. Oh, yes. Cat burglar strikes. 2 homes robbed.
Cat burglar, eh?
I hope he doesn't try to steal our cat.
Dear Kitty is such a shy little thing.
Don't worry, this burglar steals only jewelry, furs, and money.
Well, he better not try to rob our house. Why, I'll give him a karate chop. That's what I'll give him. I'll give you a karate chop, Dallas.
Dallas is one of our cameramen here, and he is on the ball and is just back here practicing just out of the service not long ago, and he's really a top cameraman here at 44, and that's a funny show.
Well, that was a good show. It was entirely different to take a great comic picture and to animate them yourselves. It was fun right from the beginning, and I don't know why the program was canceled. We have never found out. We went off with a 28 rating.
And yours with John Astin, whose delivery is so hysterical, man. He's as cynical as George Sanders was last week in the George Sanders.
Well, you'll notice there's a lot of Groucho Marx in him too.
Mm-hmm. With a cigar.
Yeah, and it was fun to create those characters, starting fresh.
Jackie will be back again with us on tomorrow night when we present yet another comedy feature in Comedy Week here on The Great Late Movie. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and thanks especially to Jackie Coogan.
Thank you, Rob.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Jackie Coogan. If you did, you can go to A Word on Westerns, A Word on Entertainment, and see over 250 different episodes to select from. You can binge on them. They won't all be old like the Jackie Coogan one. In fact, some will be even 16:9 and HD. Oh my goodness, they'll be so much fun. Hope you find them, watch them, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.